Hi, we are group number 1 of 8A and we're gonna discuss Charles Darwin. We are confirmed by Paula Acevedo, Tomás Silva, Juan Camilo Vargas, and Raúl Ruiz.
Hi, now I'm going to tell you some brief facts about Charles Darwin and a brief biography. First of all, Charles Darwin was born at February 12, 1809. Charles Darwin enrolled at University of Edinburgh at age 16. At 1831, he boarded the HMS Beagle as a naturalist position. He explored various places of South America, but the most remembered place he visited was the Galapagos Islands, in which he encountered the most important of his discoveries, evolution. He is remembered for his important discoveries, at which he concluded that the process named natural selection. In this process, Charles described the relationship between the way of adapting of some animals and their ability to survive in certain habitats and characteristics. Charles Darwin died on April 16, 1882.
Now we are going to talk about the Beagle. What was the Beagle? Well, the HMS Beagle was a ship in which Charles Darwin was invited having the role of a naturalist in a trip around the world. He, with other men and women, traveled to different places around America, including the Galapagos Islands, in 1831. Why is it important? Well, this ship was important because it experienced Charles Darwin with a lifetime of experiences, to ponder transforming him from a young university graduate to established naturalist, well known for his collections. Talking about the places that Darwin visited, we have the Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos Islands were important in Darwin's research because it was the place where he encountered the different animals living in the island. He arrived to the island in the Beagle, and after observing the different adaptations the finches and other animals presented, he decided to study and investigate more about them.
What animals live in the Galapagos Island? Darwin found different species of finches, tortoises, iguanas, and sea lions. How are these animals specialized to survive in their unique environment? For example, the tortoises have long necks, and scientists say that these animals increased their size as time went on because they didn't have to hide from any predators. In the case of the finches, uh, they got to the island as one single species, but they divided into 13 different species through natural selection and different things that I'm going to explain next. The story of the Galapagos Island finches is very interesting. It is theorized that the finches arrived to the island as one single species, but there are now 13 different species of finches. Where did all these different species came from? After many processes of adaptation and natural selection, that is when nature selects the most fit and better organisms that are adapted to survive in their environment, the finches manage to split into different species by changing the shape of their beak and nutritional habits in order that the 13 species and all the finches were able to survive in the Galapagos Island.
Fossils in Charles Darwin theory. How do fossils support the theory of evolution? Fossils support the theory of evolution by Darwin in many ways, but first of all, what is a fossil? A fossil, according to BBC, is the preserved remains of a dead organism from million years ago. There are fossils from all times. This makes that the fossils from older animals can be found, and we can see how the species has evolved over time. This supports the way that Darwin's theory of evolution states the simple life forms gradually evolve into more complex ones. These fossils also are a way to show examples about the needs of each species over time and how has it evolved. Thanks. Now we will continue with the relationship between birds and reptiles.
Hi, now I'm going to present you the relationship between birds and reptiles. Birds and reptiles are both have a relationship because both of them evolved from dinosaurs. Biologists use two types of classification system, the Lineman and the phylogenetic. The Lineman system was developed by Linnaeus in the 1730s. In the Lineman system, Organisms are grouped by characteristics depending on their ancestry. A reptile is an animal that is ectothermic and has scales, and birds will not be reptiles. In the 1940s, a biologist named Willy Hennig came up with another classification system, phylogenetic. In this system, organisms were grouped only by their ancestry, and characteristics are only used to discover their ancestry. The reptile is an animal descended from the original group called reptiles. Both birds and mammals share ancestors sometimes, referred to as reptile-like animals.
Thank you for your attention. In the following links, you can find the information and the photos we use in our presentation.